Hello everyone, BD here and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be testing GeForce GTX 6050 Super on the almighty Ghost of Tsushima. This one is the Gigabyte single fan model. You can see all its specs right here on the GPU-Z. The card actually doesn't consume that much of the power, so single fan will be enough. You can see all the PC specs right here on the left. Ryzen 5 5600G and 60GB of RAMs in the whole channel with the latest Nvidia driver. By the way, the driver version can be actually make a difference sometimes, but it's not a big deal, maybe 2 FPS, maybe 3. As you can see right now, we are playing at 1080p using the lowest settings possible with the native res. I will be testing some other settings too, from lowest settings to ultra, using some FSR in quality mode, and maybe some frame generation, because the card will definitely suffer when you go to the higher settings. And let's do this. I never played the game before, so I had to play a little bit of the prologue, and believe me, I get sick from hiding. They finally give me my sword. Time to show you some skills. I mean, it's time to count the frame rate. The VRAM is almost full and we are using just the lowest textures. I think it's going to be a terrible experience. Let's find out. I see a bunch of bastards there. I think it's the time to salute them with my sword. And here we have it, guys. The game not looking that great actually. Maybe just at night. And the funny things, we are not holding even 50 frames. This is actually really bad. We can't even reach 60 frames at time. The card had only 4GB of VRAMs, and yeah, the 4GB card is struggling with the newer titles. I think it's the time for us to change some settings. Let's try the low instead of the lowest settings. As you can see, everything is the same. We are not using upscaling yet. And let's count our FPS. 4715 at time, the same as we see in the lowest settings. Actually, from what I see, there is no difference between the low and the lowest settings. And the amazing things about this game is, it's actually gorgeous even in the low settings. Anyway, it's getting 50 frames per second, that's very similar to what we see earlier, even in the fights. So, time to do some samurai skills. Let me clear the area. Finally, after the area is clear, we can move to the medium settings. As you can see, I use the medium setting without upscaling and without frame generation to see the real performance of the GPU without upscaling. Back here in the medium settings, it seems to be a lot better than the low quality. And actually we're just losing 5 frames, maybe 7 at times comparing to the low settings. So yeah, we are getting 40, 43 FPS. Those less 5 FPS is what you get coming from low to medium. And actually it's not a terrible experience. I will prefer to play like that without using the upscaling, because the native resolution at 1080p it's way much better than the upscaling. So that's it for the medium settings. Let's go to the higher settings. As you can see right now, we are using the highest settings. Everything's set to the high without upscaling yet. So I think it's the time to right jack right here and do some free roam with the highest settings, of course. And so let's count our FPS. And take a look of this, my friend. It's actually gorgeous. At 1080p high settings native IA. Anyway, we are getting high 30 at time. Consider the age of this GPU. It's doing really a good job on high settings. You can actually get a similar experience if you have an RX 580 or a GTX 1060 6GB model. So we are getting 30 frames at average. It's a good experience actually. That means we finally can kill some bastard on the high settings. So let's go and find them. There they are, some bastard waiting for me to kill them. And let's not forget about the iconic move. Experience in high settings is surprising actually. 130 frames average in all the time. What is waiting for us in the high settings? Let's change some settings and see. Returning here in the menu. And let's raise the quality to the maximum. We are using the same settings at 1080p native res without upscaling. As you can see, everything's set to the very high. And here we go. Holy shit, we are getting below 14 FPS in the second. This is actually bad. That's because the limit of the VRAM, the GPU is dying right there, and the performance reached his limit. That's what you got from 5 years old GPU. You can't play at the very high settings actually. It's a really bad idea playing on very high settings with this GPU. Let's go back to the high settings and using some FSR3 on quality mode. So let's go over the menu here and change some settings. Returning to the high settings. So as you can see, everything set to the high. It's actually time for us to use some FSR. Here we are using the FSR3 on the quality mode, without using the frame generation. So, let's see if the FSR on quality mode will make a difference in this game. So we actually see 35, 36 in the time. You can see the frame time there, it's not stable at all. And the game is actually dropping sometimes. So as usual, the time for killing some bastards. Because it's actually the real benchmark. The game in the fights will be so demanding, and that's what we want. I will play like that in 35, 36 frames average. It's not a terrible experience actually. So it's time to use the frame generation. The same settings FSR on quality plus the frame generation. I am not completely sure if I like to play like that. The input lag is actually awful. It's like we seeing 60 frames in the time but the feeling is 30 frame. These settings is actually good for a 60 frame, but the game is completely unplayable. I recommend you to use the Nvidia Reflex when you use the frame generation. But even then, the baseline in the FPS will be at 30, maybe less than that in some area. So I will prefer to use the high settings with FSR on quality instead of using the frame generation. And with that my friend, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one. Peace.